What is going on, YouTube? Heylow here, bringing you an all-new Total Warhammer 2 1v1 matchup. So today we're going to be checking out a replay sent in by my clanmates. So we're going to have WickD here playing as the Greenskins versus ElHalcon, another member of XMT, playing as our wonderful friends of the Skaven. So right away, WickD's army here is going to be a front line of a whole lot of Gabos. They're going to be backed up by 4 units of Trolls and a Giant. So, beefy boys and some Gabo lads. Grimgor Ironhide is going to be leading with the front line, as well as a Night Gabo Shaman. And then way out here, sneaky stabbingly vanguarded on the flanks, we're going to have 4 units of Squig Herd supported by a Goblin Big Boss as well. So, very, very nice little cavalry zerg hidden in the woods. Over here for ElHalcon, we're going to have the Skaven led by Lord Skrulk. He's going to have a front line of Plague Monks and Clan Rats, as well as some Skaven slaves. He's also going to have an Assassin and Warlock Engineer supporting, a couple units of Rat Ogres up in the front lines to provide some mass, and Clan Rat Spears in the back lines to stop any kind of light cav charges from the Greenskins. At the core, we're also going to have a Plague Claw Catapult that is going to be opening up with a volley of its pestilent filth very early on. Let's get the ball rolling here. And right away, some of these goblins just getting smacked by that Plague Claw Catapult. Not too much damage done, though. Still have 115 models out of the 120 that they come with baseline. So let's get a little bit of an overview here. Out in the back line, we also have the Teeth Robbers, the Goblin Wolf Chariot, as well as the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers in the woods. And yeah, the little vanguards here in the woods. Very, very nice touch. He's got the Night Gabos, he's got the Chariot, he's got his herd moving up now. And you can see right away that the Greenskin army here from WickD is going for a very, very wide envelopment on Halcon's Skaven force. So very nice move. It's going to be a little bit of a drawn out initial engagement here, as his main body force is moving fairly slowly, just kind of walking up. But Plague Claw is going to be turning about here to try and get some shots in on the Squig Herd, who are looking to get some free charges in early, doing a surprising amount of damage, almost routing that Squig Herd, which is going to turn about and just go in for that charge. Do a decent amount of damage on these Clan Rats, but then they are quickly going to frenzy because of the Rat Ogres, and they are almost instantly going to end up routed out. Meanwhile, though, that back flank of the Night Gabo Squigs is coming in, and they are going to be zerging across the battlefield as the front line is getting hit by the rest of the Squig Herd, and the Trolls are coming in, and it's just an absolute slugfest right here. Frenzy going down, and some poison being applied on these Squigs. Blessed with Filth going down as well to try and soften that initial blow. Plague Monks doing a decent job, but the Trolls quickly causing some terror and mass damage to these Skaven slaves. Artillery coming in on some more of the goblins in the front line. But again, this Chariot over here on the right flank is causing a little bit of trouble on some of the spears. Goblin Big Boss and some Squigs trying to punch through and hold up some of this right flank of units. But meanwhile, some gazes going down, and Skrulk taking an absolute beating, is down extremely low, 1600 HP. But Grimgor himself taking quite a beating. He is almost a half HP. Doomwheel coming up to try and support and hit him. Giant has gotten into combat with the Trolls to try and take down some of these Rat Ogres. And left flank and right flank being decently compromised for the Skaven here. Greenskins starting to push through. Not looking too bad for WickD right now. Some more of his troops rallying, as well as his Shaman coming up to provide some backup. But this Chariot is doing some great work, busting down some of these units on the flank. Rat Ogre desperately trying to hold that engagement out. But meanwhile, again, left flank here has completely collapsed. Doomwheel trying to provide some support, but the Trolls are causing all of the fear and terror. A lot of Skaven units routing out right now. Another Gaze goes down, does some very solid damage, and Skrulk is in a little bit of trouble. He's kind of stuck in the middle of this dirty, nasty blob of Rat Ogres and Trolls, taking quite a bit of damage. But meanwhile, everywhere else, it's looking like the Greenskins are starting to overwhelm the Skaven forces. Balance of power not too heavily in their favor, but some Skaven slaves and Clan Rats trying to come in and provide some bodies to tie up all of these blob engagements. Plague Claw Catapult is still online with a lot of ammo left, so he's going to be dropping some point-blank shots into some of these blobs. Giant is blobbed up in the main battle engagement, but the Assassin and Skrulk are not in a very good place right now. They're just kind of thrown into this mess, being pinned down by freaking trolls, giants, all of it. Gabo Big Boss over here trying to come through with some of his squigs. But a very nice artillery shot going into this mess, doing a nice chunk of damage. But these trolls not going to be going down easily. What's nice now is that the Greenskins do have a death ball going, so it's going to be hard to route all of these units out because most of the time they're going to be winning combat. But the artillery is helping to provide some of the taking fire penalty from being shot up by artillery. However, some of these goblins are getting into the back line now and starting to go into delicious melee combat with the clan rats. Trolls just bowling through, tying down some of these chariots, trying to get into the back of these plague claw catapults, and the giant lumbering in, dropping the hate and taking out a whole bunch of Skaven. God, this game is gorgeous. Look at this mayhem right now. The chariots trying to escape from combat, but a lot of these Skaven just have it tied down. Trolls continuing to wade through in pursuit of the Gabo wolf chariots, but more of the Skaven forces have rallied and are re-engaging in combat and very promptly being punted by the Greenskin trolls. Meanwhile, the map overview, balance of power very slightly in the Greenskin favor. They do continue to have this death ball running. The assassin is going after Grimgor, Doomwheel providing some nice mass and terror and routing out some more of these trolls and the squig herd in the pocket. But Rat Ogre's continuing to bowl around here to try and support in chasing off the trolls. Grimgor taking a very nice hit and a lot of damage. He is not in a very good place right now. This Doomwheel is doing some very solid work. But Grimgor, no slouch, is providing some hits of his own to try and trade some DPS. However, the assassin is now on him, and he is going to be trying to dip out of there. More trolls and goblins coming in to support, though, scurrying across the hillside. And a gaze comes in very nice from the Gabo shaman out there to try and do some decent damage to the assassin, who is just kind of hanging out in combat here with Grimgor, and the assassin does go down. So with that, that's another hit to the Skaven's already low leadership. And you can see not too many units left here. Some rallying Skaven forces trying to push back into the blob and tear down these remaining spears. But the artillery crew is back, and they are moving right back for the artillery pieces with a decent health clan rat spear moving into support. So if they can get back on that artillery and start dropping some shots into these goblins, maybe route out some of these rallying trolls with the help of this Doomwheel, they could come back and be in a very solid position. The Greenskins Gabo Big Boss coming back for WickD here. Grimgor is, however, at very, very low health. He is getting tied up in some Skaven slaves, and if the Doomwheel is able to escape this mosh pit of troll bodies here, he might be able to get over there and get the finishing charge on Grimgor. However, it looks like he is kind of tied down by his own Rat Ogres as well as with his trolls. ElHalcon trying to bring in some spears to reinforce, which will do surprisingly well here. Trolls, remember, do not have good armor. However, with the Doomwheel being routed, the Clan Rat Spears aren't going to have the support they need with only the Rat Ogres, and they are going to end up quickly terrifying again. Balance of power continuing to teeter into the Greenskins' favor. The artillery is managing to shatter out some of these regrouping units, such as the Night Gabo Squig herds, but Goblins continuing to rally back to the field in Skaven-like fashion. But yeah, nothing really able to take Grimgor down right now. He has just enough health to stay in the fight, get Snick going down as well, giving him that extra melee attack to punch out some of these Rat Ogres with the Giant's help. And Night Gobble Shaman and some Trolls there to back him up as well. Doomwheel does come back as well as some Rat Ogres. However, Gobble Big Boss has gotten onto the Plague Claw Catapult. Artillery fire coming in to try and finish off Grimgor, maybe rout out some of these Trolls. But not looking super great right now. Balance of power slightly tipping back towards the Skaven a little bit as their troops begin to rally. If he's able to consolidate, maybe he can pull something off here. However, these Trolls are going to be very, very tough to break. The Rat Ogres alone probably aren't going to be able to deal with this. The infantry would have to come in and support, and unfortunately, as they get closer, they do start to terror rout. The Doomwheel is moving to try and save this Plague Claw Catapult because the Plague Claw is going to be providing lots and lots of the leadership debuffs, some good damage in the hits on this blob, and you can see the Trolls do end up routing from the Rat Ogres with that artillery support. So very, very good position for them. The balance bar continuing to fluctuate slightly in the Greenskins' favor right now, but as the Doomwheel begins to take more health, if this Plague Claw ends up routing, that might spell the end for the Skaven. They do have some more Rad Ogres all the way out on the flank, but this is kind of going to be the pivotal moment here. We are going to see if the Gobos are able to take down what's left of this consolidated Skaven force. And it looks like the Skaven are going to start to terror route because of the Greenskins. The Plague Claw artillery crew being beaten and battered. Some of the Skaven forces trying to hold the line, but this Doom Wheel is now pretty much alone. Some rallying Skaven forces moving back to charge, but again, terror continuing to hit. And not much the Skaven player can do at that point as army losses hits and forces off the rest of his infantry. So a very, very great game. Came down pretty close. That giant was super key at the end there, as well as the trolls providing all that terror, continuing to rout out the rallying Skaven forces for ElHalcon. But great game for these two. Very, very good. I had a lot of fun with the builds. It was a pretty cool concept here from WickD with his very, very wide deployment, kind of going for that wrapping envelopment. And Skaven here picking that one artillery piece that's going to help provide some of the leadership debuffs, provide some of that long-range damage to kind of force the Greenskins to come to him in case they bring more like ranged units. And the Doom Wheel, also a very nice touch, doing a really good job kind of bullying Grimgor and helping to provide some terror of his own. Unfortunately, there was just a little too much mass fear and terror coming from these trolls and the giants combined. Just couldn't quite keep the leadership together towards the end game there. But great games. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Are these builds that you would typically use? What do you kind of do for Greenskins versus Skaven, or vice versa? Personally, I myself find that Black Orcs can be awesome, but they are pretty unnecessary against Skaven. On the one hand, you have immune to psych and heavy armor, but you're kind of over investing because you don't need that much armor piercing just to deal with Skaven. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys like? Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.